Hey everybody, Dave Sheahan here, high performance coach and founder Formula for Success, and I just want to welcome you to this week's 100% free and live training, and we're going to be covering reveals, the 5 traits of high achievers. And as always, it's great to have you guys on. I really look forward to this call, this free training every single week, because I just love giving to people and giving them implementable strategies that will make an impact in their life once they implement them. That's the key. Just keep remembering that education and knowledge, that is not the key. It's an important part in the process, but what's most important is implementation of that knowledge. So make sure you're always implementing. If you happen to be watching this as a recording, make sure you type any questions and so on below the video. If you're on this live, type questions into the chat or question box, okay? Welcome any questions, whether you're seeing this live or as a recording. I will get back to you on answers for everything. So as I said, we're going to cover the traits of high achievers, and the simple thing is, if you want to live a fun, vibrant, fulfilling, and successful life, there's certain key things that you need to add to your repertoire. You need to change some of your characteristics. You need to, create new traits, and that's what I want to share with you. The information I'm going to share with you on this free training has the power to dramatically impact your life in a very positive way, but again, only if you implement it. So I want to ask you just a few questions, and it's questions for yourself to mull over as I'm asking you, and answer them. Answer them out loud, or type in the question box, or write it down yourself. It's very important again to constantly be thinking during these calls. Not just to sit back and listen. Make sure you're thinking, make sure you're interacting and engaging and writing, and you should have pen and paper and be writing plenty of notes all the time. But do you struggle to achieve your goals and dreams? Have you set goals and dreams throughout your life, but rarely achieve them? They all seem to be just, within touching distance, but you never quite get there. Or you never even get close to them. Or you set your goals, like most people, for instance, with 1st of January New Year's resolutions, and after a month or two, they're gone. Or do you tend to go in and out? You haven't got consistency. So, do you struggle to actually make them a reality? Are you living life by default instead of design? You have the power, like anyone, to live by design. You are the one who makes the decisions. You're the person who decides everything that you do. You're the person who makes certain decisions that lead to certain experiences and actions, and that will lead to certain results. And it's a case of if they end up positive or negative, you had a hand in where it went to. So you're leading by design right now. Have you got control of your life? Have you grabbed life by the throat and you're deciding who's calling the shots and what's going to happen? Do you feel confused and uncertain about what the right path is in the pursuit of your goals? For some people, they just are unsure about what they need to do, where they should go, what trainings they should invest in, who they should hire as mentors, what is the right goal. Maybe you're trying to do too many things. You're focusing on too many different types of goals instead of just laser focusing on one. And are you eager to learn what separates high achievers from everyone else? Again, this is one to put in the question box, why you're in. So are you eager to learn? Because that's what I'm going to share with you. Because I've been working in this industry, high performance, for 19 years now. When I was just a couple of months after going 17 years of age, I first got into this whole area. So I spent 19 years investing hundreds of thousands into my ongoing education and learning from experts and hiring mentors, and following and watching what the top people in the world are doing in different fields of high performance, and importantly then implementing. So I've learned a lot myself, both of what others do, so other high achievers, and also what I personally do myself. And this is what I want to share with you on this call. So the key thing is always that you want to embrace life, live fully. Remember I said at the start, you want to create a life where it's fun, vibrant, fulfilling, and successful. That is what life is all about. You don't want to live a mediocre life and look back at the end with lots of regrets. You want to make sure that you're living a life that's fun and vibrant and fulfilling and successful, as I said. 4 key main areas. Again, I always stress to everyone who I come across or on these calls or clients that you might at the moment feel you want to focus on one particular area. It's okay focusing on it, but just keep being aware that there's 4 key areas that you need to impact positively on a consistent basis. And when you have balance in all of these areas, that's when you truly will have fulfillment and happiness. So relationships is one, body, mind, and health is another. Your business and professional life, your career, your business, and also wealth. So, money in the bank. It's not all about money, but what's important is it's important to have enough, obviously, to live and have the life that you want, but also the more that you create, the more value you're giving to people, because the amount of money in your bank account is usually, a sign of exactly what you're giving to people, how much you're helping them. Plus also, if you want to help a lot of people, whether it be charitable causes or whatever way, you can only do that with money. So it's very important to have a proper wealth mindset and attract money into your life by having that mindset, and see money as a good thing because it is. Because one, it allows you to have experiences, and two, if you want to give away a lot, it allows others to have amazing experiences of life-changing impact as well. The key thing is having control. Again, that's with the knowledge and education, learning the right strategies, but then you need to take action with that, and that's how you're going to get the results, whether those results are positive or negative. But that's exactly how you get the results. That's what's really key. And as I said, it rests with you. You're the decision maker. You're the person who's controlling your destiny and where your life is going. So you need to decide where are you going to go next. It's like after this free training, what I'll have shared with you, and hopefully you'll have taken lots of notes and decided on some action steps. The key is that you go and do that. So you are the one who will decide if you are going to do something positive after this training. And depending on what your goals are, you may even be able to do something during the training. So a quick bit of housekeeping: make sure you turn off your phone, make sure you turn off Skype, turn off all your web pages, especially Facebook. Have a pen and paper to take plenty of notes, type in lots of questions as well throughout the call. Focus for the duration of this training. It's so important because this free training contains valuable information that will impact both your life and your business, and of course the other areas of your life as well. So it's a quote I always go through in these calls. So every morning you are handed 24 golden hours. They are one of the few things in this world that you get free of charge. If you had all the money in the world, you couldn't buy an extra hour. So it's crucial that you treasure this valuable thing that we've got. So what are you going to do with this priceless treasure? The key thing is time is ticking. It's ticking all the time. Whenever you're watching this, think where the last few weeks and months have gone, even where the last day has gone. Time moves fast and it doesn't wait for you, and you can't get it back. So it's really crucial that you're living life by design, and you're taking the action that's going to move your life forward and not procrastinating on it. The 5 traits of high achievers, like a summary first, and then we'll go through them in depth. As in any questions throughout it, now type them in. First one is complete clarity and focus with regard to goals. 2, self-management, self-discipline, prioritizing body, mind, and health. Trait 3, long-term versus short-term thinking. Trait 4, mastering skills and an endless pursuit of knowledge. Step 5, taking calculated risks. Okay, so these are the key traits that we're going to go through, and there's many different traits for high achievers, and but there's key ones, and these are what I identify as the 5 key traits. So let's go on to number 1. So we look at complete clarity and focus regarding goals. What's really key is you need to know exactly what it is you want to achieve. Again, it's like if you're trying to get up to the top of your stairs. If you know you want to get up to the top of the stairs, but you need to get on that first step, and then get on to the second step, and then on to the third step. And even as you're doing it, if you're distracted, not really thinking about what you're doing, say you're on your phone or you're half asleep or whatever reason you're not focused, you may not get on to the second and third step because you trip. The same idea again in your life and everything you're trying to achieve. You need to first know where you're going. You also need to know where you are, and you need to know the steps along the way, how to get to where you want to be. Okay, this is really key, and what every high achiever has is they have these goals written down. It's no good just having these goals in your head. It is crucial that you write down your goals and rewrite them and have them everywhere. I have my goals on my computer, I have them in my diary, I have them on my phone, I have them on posters. You have to have these goals, like having a vision board. You're having these images reminding you all the time of what it is you're trying to achieve. So it's really crucial to have your goal in your face as much as you can, and also to review it and make tweaks on it whenever you need to as well. Because if you're taking certain action and you're moving pretty fast, you might be able to change that goal. You might be able to increase it even further. So you're actually aiming too low initially, and you're actually able to, make it a bigger goal. Because sometimes we tend to dream small instead of dreaming big. Because you should always dream big. Make your goals massive. Make them absolutely massive. And the thing is, it's like with your, with setting deadlines and so on, because it is important to have some kind of deadlines, but goals are never unrealistic, it's only deadlines. Like, you need to push yourself, push the boundaries, but make sure the deadlines you set are reasonably realistic, okay? But it's really crucial that you have complete clarity in your goals. You need to have them written out. So like, I have my goals written out. I read them at least once a day, usually a few times a day. I will review them each week, I will tweak them, I will change them. And also having like sub-goals as well. So what I want you to do right now is, look at the 4 areas of your life. Relationships, body, mind, health, professional life, wealth. Write out your goals now. Because even if you've done this many times before, it helps the more times you do it. Okay? So keep doing it more and more and more. So I want you to write out your 4 goals. So what ultimately do you want to achieve in each of those 4 areas? And write it out right now. You can let me know as much as you want as well, but make sure you write it out. Alright? So 4 areas: relationships, body, mind, health, professional life, and wealth. Because as I said, this is what high achievers do. And anyone who doesn't do this will not achieve their goals. I can basically guarantee it for you. Because you need to take action. You need to take consistent action to achieve what you want to achieve in your life. And if you can't even be bothered to write out your goals and read them, then you really aren't serious about it. So this is all about proving how serious you are. What's also key is, as well as writing them out, is, like I said with the image of the whole stairs situation, it's really important for you to make sure you know the steps. Now, what are the various steps? That's where like the sub-goals come in. So you've got your ultimate goal where you want to be, that's the top of the stairs, but what are the sub-goals? What are the little markers that show you that you're getting closer to that goal, that you're moving in the right direction? And it's like for me, one of my goals in the next 12 months is to complete an Olympic distance triathlon in 2 hours 10 minutes. So my markers, for instance, along the way would be when I hit a 2 hours 30 minutes one in my races up along to my ultimate goal, or when I hit a 2:20 or a 2:15, I'm moving the right direction. Or even in my next training session, if I improve, whether it be fitness or strength, compared to the workout before, the previous workout. So you need to have your markers, have your little goals along the way. What's really key as well is that you know the next step. That's the most important one, because if you don't know the next step, then it's going to be very hard for you can get anywhere closer to the goal, because you need to take the next step. So what is the next step? And it can be something so simple as a text message, an email, writing something down. It's like in terms of your goals right now and achieving success, your action step right now, your next one might be just to write out your goals like I've asked you to do just there. Okay, so what's your next step? So writing the goals out in the first place, and writing them everywhere, but write them out. Another thing about writing them out, actually, just make sure you write in the present tense and date it. So what and when. Okay, so again, you're putting a date on it. And just make sure that every day you're taking action. That's another part of complete clarity and focus. Every single day you're taking action. And be very precise. Like here, Daniel, like sharing here about earn 100,000 in 90 days. Again, it's very precise. It's 90 days. The only thing there, Daniel, is when is the start day, when is the finish day. Write that down. So in the period of or from this date to this date, I will have generated 100,000 euros. Okay? So again, be very specific in your goals and write everything in the present tense and write it in a positive manner, because it's important, as I said, from your mindset just to do that. It's important to convince your subconscious that this is a matter of when it's going to happen, not if it's going to happen. Okay? So the focus comes from having that written down and then focusing on it, not being distracted. Don't let other things distract you. Don't let people distract you. So don't let others tell you it's not possible. Don't let others suck you into sorting out their lives. Make sure you're doing what you need to do for you. Okay? Too many people are led by other people. Do what is right for you and be focused. And also, remember, you can't juggle a load of balls at once. Okay? It's not possible. Don't try and do everything. Be laser focused about one or two things. Okay? Especially when it comes to your professional life and achievement. Focus on one or two things and give them all your energy, give them all your time and all your focus, put all your mental energy into it, because that's what's so crucial for achieving success. Okay, so we're all clear on having complete clarity and focus with regard to your goals. Just like a wire end into the question box. If you have any questions in this area, just put it in. You could get questions as we go along. So as I said, make sure complete clarity and focus regarding your goals. It is so crucial. It is the most important first step for anyone that wants to be a high achiever. And it's the one thing that every high achiever does. To write out their goals. They reread their goals. They review their goals. They tweak their goals. They know their steps. They definitely know the next step. And consistently take daily action. Again, it comes back to the finger pointing at you on the previous slide. It comes down to you. And how much you really want it. Because if you really want it, you take plenty of action towards it. So you look at number 2. So number 2 then is self-management, self-discipline, and especially prioritizing your body, mind and health. So let me just go on the last part there, prioritizing body, mind and health. You will not find a high achiever, a true high achiever. When I say true high achiever, what I mean is someone who consistently achieves the highest level of success. I don't mean someone who, for instance, might even generate $1 billion, but a few months later they're down to nothing. They're bankrupt, they don't have anything, they've lost everything, they've no relationships. Whatever it might be, they haven't the real happiness that it should have brought them. And they lose it, they gain it, they lose it, they gain it. You know, not that. That's not living. That's not what you want. What you want is a sustained level of happiness and fulfillment, a sustained level of success. So it's ongoing, and if anything, it accelerates and keeps accelerating all the time, because you know the energy put out there is usually what will come back to you, and a lot of the time it come back to you with even more. So what's crucial for real high achievers is, and they all really prioritize it, is their body, mind and health. They keep a focus on that. They make sure they're in supreme health. They take care of their sleep, they take care of their nutrition, they take care of their exercise, they make sure to keep their mind as positive as possible by giving a positive mind feed every single day. They limit their exposure to negative mind feed, which is typically like TV, radio, newspapers. Even people, they surround themselves with people who, you know, energetically move them in the right direction. And surround themselves with people who make them feel good about themselves and also, you know, believe in their goals and have to push them on. So it's very important again to take care of this area, because the simple thing is, if you have good health, if you're in a good body, so whatever that means to you, whatever shape you want to be in, if your mind is clear but focused, not distracted, in good health, fed well, because remember 20 to 30% of your calories go to your brain, so it's very important to feed it the right foods. It needs to be hydrated too. It's 83% water but doesn't retain water, so it's crucial for your brain to get water and stay hydrated all the time. So if you do these things, the level of productivity you will experience will be phenomenal. The difference is huge, even just from water, even just from drinking more water. This is why it's so important, and this is why high achievers put such an emphasis on it. And most of the time it's doing these exercises first thing in the morning, because it gives your body such a great kickstart, gives it great endorphins, you just feel good, you know, and just kicks your day off well. And the key thing is, if you do something positive, typically it'll lead on to another positive thing and another positive thing. And you look back at the end of your day and it was quite a positive day. And that's a big part of when you prioritize your body, mind, and health and take positive action, taking care of you first thing in the morning, because that's what you should do. The first 2 hours of every day for me is taking care of me. Okay, between exercising, and stretching, and meditation, reading, watching, listening to good material, planning my day, spending time with my wife and son, breakfast, all these kind of things. I take care of me first. So it's very important you start to do that. Okay? Now that all ties in with these two, self-management and self-discipline. People talk about time management. It's not about time management. It's about self-management. I've got 24 hours in a day. You've got 24 hours a day. Everyone this call, this free training has 24 hours in a day. So it's not the time that's the issue. It's how you manage that time. Okay? So we all have 24 hours, so what are you going to do with it? And what I find a great exercise, and I still do it to this day, is to log what I'm doing throughout the day. So it's like if I take from 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m., I'll write down what I did. As I go along, typically, because I'll get, do quite a few things in that time, or sometimes it might be at the end of it. Okay, but I'll log what I do, and that way I can see am I being productive or not. The key thing to ask yourself every single day is, and every so often throughout the day, even every hour, is this the best and highest value use of my time? Remember, time is your most valuable resource. Are you making the best use of it? So ask yourself every so often throughout every day, is this the best and most valuable use of my time? That's something that's really, really crucial. So remember, self-management. So you need to manage yourself. You need to limit your distractions. You need to make sure that you're not going off on tangents, not allowing people or things to distract you, because again, that's what people end up doing. So make sure that you're laser focused. Going back to trait 1. But if you're laser focused, typically it goes hand in hand with having self-management and having good self-discipline. And the discipline side of it comes in to how you manage your day. What are you prioritizing? So it's very important how you prioritize your day. Your time is precious. What are you doing with it? How much time you spend on Facebook? How much time you spend watching soaps? How much time do you just spend basically arsing around, not doing anything? You need to value your time. You need to be productive. You need to know what's going on. What do you need to do? Even if you look at your to-do list, and it might be quite long, what are the key tasks on that list you need to do today? So today, pick the 1, 2, 3, or whatever works for you. A lot of time it's 3. Picking 3 works well. And do them, and don't do anything else. If, for instance, you're going to write, if you're a writer or creative, you draw, you write, you sing, anything that's creative, you create videos, do it. You create music, do it. And don't be distracted from it. Make sure you're doing what you need to do to stay focused on it. So prioritizing the right tasks each and every day. Don't be someone who just works and works a lot, and does a lot. If there's no end product, then it's a complete waste of time. You need to have an end product. Okay? That's just really crucial. Have an end product. Especially in the first few hours of your day. Typically that should be your creative time. You're most awake, you're most alert, you've had your sleep, you should have fed yourself well. You may have exercised. It's a great time to be creative. Plus, it shows you're not jumping because others want you to jump. The worst thing you can do every day is to check your email first thing in the morning, or check your text, or check your Facebook, or start posting on Facebook, or looking around it. Take care of you first. Make sure you focus on you first. Okay? And focus on being creative. Get something out there. Produce something. Okay? Whatever it is you do in life, and whatever your professional life is, you have an element of creativity that needs to be harnessed. You need to use it. So make sure, again, you're using, your time well. Make sure you're prioritizing your time. So like I said, number 1, you're laser focused and you have complete clarity of your goal. Number 2 is that you're prioritizing your body, mind, and health, but also you're showing self-discipline and self-management in how you manage your time, how you manage your schedule, in your diary, how you manage, how you react to other people's demands, how you determine your task list, and how you prioritize which ones need to be done at that moment in time. Again, stop yourself every hour and ask yourself, is this the best, most valuable use of my time right now? And if it's not, stop doing what you're doing. Do something else that is. Take time every morning to decide what you need to prioritize that day, and then do it. Does that make sense? You can just clarify. I think it's important that I know that what I'm sharing with you is making sense to you. And it's helping you as well, helping to give you clarity. So just to confirm that's clear for you, I'm just going to get some water. Okay, good. So good feedback so far. Great. That's what I like to see. So again, I hope you're writing plenty as well, and I hope you're getting really zoned in here. Because like I said at the start, if you just implement what I teach you on this free training, there's no doubt it's going to have an impact in your life, a positive impact in your life. Okay? So make sure that you implement. And even during this call, there may be some things that you decide that you can implement. Go and do it. Next one, trait number 3. So long-term versus short-term thinking. In today's world, with so much pressure and the hamster wheel, which most people are on, there's a tendency for short-term thinking only. And what I mean by that is that even things like someone has a demand on you, someone emails you, contacts you, even if it's bills, you jump then. You're working on impulse immediately. You jump when other people want you to jump, instead of you having control of your life and you deciding what happens. As well, when opportunities come your way, you just jump on board them without even thinking much about, is this the right opportunity for me? Because the reality is, if you're of the right frame of mind, if you're very positive, if you are throwing it out there to the universe and you're attracting good things into your life, you will get a lot of great opportunities thrown your way. However, not all of them are the right ones for you, whether it be at all, ever, or just not at that time. So it's very important for you to know your long-term objectives. Know that long-term goal, like we said in trait number 1, about being clear, having clarity and focus about your goal. You need to know what that is, and be mindful of that all the time with every decision that you make, every opportunity you decide to take a look at. Look at it long-term. Every decision you make sure it's got a long-term focus. Okay? So if you need to do something in an hour's time, is that something that's going to help you move forward to get closer towards your goal that's in the future? Okay? Rather than, again, using your time to do something that's more important to somebody else, that's not in line with your goal, your long-term goal. And that's just basically like a reactive. You're just being reactive in what you're doing, in the action you're taking for that short-term goal. Does that make sense, everybody? The whole long-term thinking versus short-term thinking, because it's so important to grasp this one. Because most people spend most of their days doing stuff that's more important to someone else than themselves, and also doing things that isn't congruent at all with their long-term objectives. It's so important that what you do every single day, every single action you take, that's all tied in and congruent to your long-term goal. Because if you're not achieving that, if you're not getting closer to it, then you're not a high achiever. It's as simple as that. Every action you should take should get you closer to your goal. Alright, does that make sense? Again, just keep interacting, guys. Keep sending your questions. Just even let me know how it's going, if you're enjoying it, if it's good information, if it's helping you. All that kind of side. Just keep interacting, guys, so I know what's going on your side. Alright, so changing. So long-term versus short-term thinking. Next one, we're on to number 4. Mastering skills and the endless pursuit of knowledge. Okay? So this is an important one. There's a few things in this one. One is that you should adopt a mentality, if you don't already have it, a Kaizen method, which is ongoing, never-ending education. A thirst for knowledge. Always want to know more, always want to learn more. It's like an Eastern type mentality. But people who are successful, all high achievers, adopt a Kaizen method of philosophy with knowledge and information and themselves, because you need to make sure you realize that you will never know enough. Like, I'm in this industry for 19 years. I personally and honestly feel that I know a fraction of what I'd like to know. What I do know, which is more than the majority of people, is a tip of the iceberg for what I would like to know. So you never know enough, and this also allows you to stay grounded, and humble, and not to get too big for your boots, not to let your ego take over, because you know there's so much more you can do. You know there's so many more ways you can help people, so much more information out there. So it's very important to keep educating yourself all the time. And as well, in terms of being a high achiever, being successful, the majority of people will not adopt this type of philosophy, because it's hard work, and it requires consistency, it requires going outside the comfort zone, and so on. So most people will not do it, which means you stay ahead of the game. So you stay ahead of your peers, you stay ahead of all your competition, and in every industry that is something that's so important, because being the role model, being the leader, out there, leader of the pack, that is crucial for you to be successful and to be seen as a high performer, as a high achiever. Now, in your journey towards getting to that kind of position, what is crucial is that you don't try and reinvent the wheel. There's no problem with you having a few of your own ideas, but remember, there's very little that's actually new in the world these days, because it's so fast-paced and so much has changed in just such a short space of time. And people are saying a lot of the same stuff, just in different ways. So what you need to do is, add your own personality, add your own flavor to things, but learn off the masters, learn off people who've mastered skills, learn off people who are doing what you would like to do. Don't reinvent the wheel. Study them. In everything you want to do, make sure you're studying the top people in that field. So it's like for me, some of my goals is to become a sponsored plant-based triathlete. That'd be for next year. And another one is to become a high-performance director at LA Galaxy. That's an MLS soccer team. So for me, I'm looking and studying and researching and keep an eye on and following the top people, the top plant-based, not just plant-based, but plant-based and non-plant-based triathletes who are sponsored. I'm also following those people who are high performance directors at top professional level football and soccer clubs. So you learn from the best, watch what they do, pick out what's important from it, pick out what you agree with and what works, and then add your own flavor to it. So follow what they do. Remember, everyone who's in any good position, who has achieved anything, you can be that person. They just took action. That is all. They worked hard, they believed in themselves, they took consistent action, and they wouldn't take no for an answer. They just kept going and going and going until they got what they want. And you need to adapt that. Remember, everyone is just a person. That's all. Flesh and blood. That's all anyone is. So there's nothing stopping you achieving what you want more than anybody else. Master skills is important, because in whatever it is you want to do, whatever discipline or career or business, there are certain key skills that you need to learn. So it's very important that you adopt the skills that you need to learn and you master them. You become the best at it. If you're not interested in becoming like a world leader at a skill, then it's not the right one for you. Because if you don't become brilliant at it, you're never going to achieve huge success. It's like for me, I've always been renowned and well known for customer service, incredible and unbeatable customer service. And any type of business I've ever set up, that is the one thing that's always come back in feedback from clients. And that's been a big reason why word of mouth has been my main advertising for many, many years, because of the customer service. Now I made a conscious decision that I was going to master customer service. It's something I will always keep learning more and more about, but I haven't to a good level, but I can keep improving it. But what skills do you need to improve on? Maybe it's presentation skills, speaking skills, confidence, projecting your voice. Maybe it could be computer skills, writing skills. What kind of skills? Maybe it's athletic skills in your chosen sport. So what skills do you need to manage? Like if you look at what you do right now in your career, your ambitions, what is the one skill? And find it out from the company. Or if you're self-employed, look into it. And look at what other high achievers are doing and copy them. What's the one thing you need to learn more and more about and become an expert at? Because you want to become an expert. And that ties me into another part of this trait, is that it's important that you follow those who are the leaders right now. Identify and follow the leaders and learn from them. And if possible, hire them. Work with them. The fastest way to achieve success in anything is to work with a leader, work with a coach. Someone who's been there, done that. Because they already know how to achieve what you want. So you can either, spend ages and ages going around circles trying to work out the best way and the fastest way to achieve your goals, or you can just hire someone and invest in someone who's already done it, who's already been there and bought the t-shirt. Because you can find someone like that, then that's going to fast track your success hugely. And that's something, again, I've been mindful of for the last 19 years, that I'm always looking at hiring the top coaches to help me to move along in whatever area I am in my life. Wherever I want to improve on it, whether it be relationships, body, mind and health, professional life, or create more wealth. Alright, so make sure you're concentrating on mastering skills. Pick one though, start off picking one that you really need to master, that really take your life or career forward, and master it, then move on to the next one, and the next one, and the next one. Have a thirst for knowledge. Make sure you never, ever stop learning. Be always a student. Always. Your whole life, be a student, and then relay that on to your clients. So have an endless pursuit of knowledge, and make sure you have a list of the leaders in your field right now. Don't reinvent the wheel. Just go out there and look at what they're doing. Doesn't matter whether you like them or not, just purely that they are the leaders. They're the people who are doing right now and have the type of following and are generating the type of money that you want. And look and see what they're doing. See what things you can learn from them, and then start implementing. Okay? That's something, again, that's really crucial. Number 5. I just get a quick drop of water. Again, any questions, guys? Keep putting them in. Taking calculated risks. I think this is one of the biggest traits to separate those who are really successful and high achievers from everyone else. Because the majority of the world, they stay in a safe box. The majority of the world never get outside their comfort zone. There's a line of where fear holds people back, and they never cross that line. Instead of feeling the fear and do it anyway. As Susan Jeffers' title of her book is, Feel the Fear, Do It Anyway. You need to cross the line. You need to cross the line regularly. But at the same time, calculate risks. Don't just jump in straight off. You need to take the time. Any opportunity that you get, any idea you have, any business you have, take the time to really analyze it and decide, is this a runner? Is this something that's going to work out the way you want it to? And there's a certain trade in terms of what you might need to put into something and what you might get out of it. But if you feel very confident that's a good calculated risk, that you will get your return, whether it be a time investment or money investment, if you are very confident, then you have to go for it. You've got nothing to lose. Because again, in that situation, it will depend on you whether you achieve the success or not, because of what you do. Okay? So make sure you're taking calculated risks. Throughout my life, I have never played it safe. Sometimes I should have played it safer. But at the same time, looking back, I'm glad I didn't. Because that was me at the time. And I learned a lot from those experiences. And times I took a risk without even really looking at it, just dived in. I learned a lot from those experiences. And I won't take that kind of action again. And that's the key. If you learn from something, then make sure that you don't go and do the same thing again. Make sure you learn from it, you implement it. Because remember, again, if you are doing the same thing over and over again and not getting the right desired result, how can you expect anything different to happen? Okay, that's something, again, you need to ask yourself all the time if your results are not as they should be. Okay? You're putting the effort in, time or money or whatever it might be, but the results are not happening. There's something wrong. You need to change something. So calculated risk. Don't dive straight in. There's even a train of thought out there that you should even look at, like, if you offer an opportunity by somebody, take maybe 30 days or so to look at it, to weigh it up, to get to know the person who's offering it to you. If you're going to be dealing with a company, to get to know the company more, don't rush into it. Take your time, 20 to 30 days, and then at least you should be able to make a good, clear decision at the end of it. A calculated risk, okay? Because there's always been an element of risk to everything you do, and especially those of you who are on the call who are looking at or would love to run their own business. because that tends to be the biggest leap of faith for people. You need to believe in yourself. If you're good at something, whatever it might be, you need to believe how good you are. If once you're good at something, you put in the right effort, you do a bit of research, I can guarantee you'll achieve success. There's no doubt about it. It's going to happen. You just have to go out there and do it and be consistent. The only thing with doing something yourself is you have to be consistent. The buck rests with you. You can't slacken off because you are the only person that's going to suffer. Okay, so taking calculated risks. So we go over these traits again, and guys, keep the questions coming. So trait number 1 of high achievers is complete clarity and focus regarding their goals. So the goals are always written down. You should make sure you have your goals written down. You should make sure you remind yourself of your goals every single day. So that means reading them, saying them out loud, even tape yourself saying them and listen to that a few times a day. Write them out and put them up on posters or as your screensavers or in your notebook or diary. Have them everywhere. Make sure as well that you analyze and review, tweak them as necessary on a regular basis too. Make sure you know the steps. Make sure you know where you're going, where you're aiming for. Make sure you know the steps along the way, but most importantly your next step. And make sure you're taking daily action. That's where the focus is coming in. High achievers take action every single day. High achievers move closer to their goals every single day. And on top of that, then you have the complete clarity from writing them out. And making sure when you're writing your goal, you write in the present tense, write it with a positive element. And make sure you include the what and the why. Trait 2 is self-management, self-discipline, prioritizing body, mind and health. So as I said, true high achievers, and again that means people who achieve success but they don't lose it. They keep gaining success all the time. They're at a sustained level. They're consistent. Okay, and all these traits tend to link together to ensure each one is happening, okay? But they always have a focus on their body, their mind, and their health. They appreciate and understand the importance of it. So they take care of their bodies and do some exercise and eat healthy and have good nutrition and watch the liquids they're putting in and make sure you're getting good sleep and create positive mind feed. So, listening, watching, reading good positive personal development type materials, limiting their exposure to TVs, radios, newspapers. Okay? All these things that you need to limit your exposure to. And they're good at, again, at prioritizing and self-discipline and self-management, because you are the one who manages your schedule. You are the one who decides what you're going to do each and every day. So it's really crucial that you are taking the time each day to decide what's your plan, what are your action steps for that particular day, what's your most important action step, what are you going to prioritize. So focus on that and be very disciplined in what you're doing. And just make sure again you're taking daily action. Long-term versus short-term thinking. Don't react. Don't be reactive, especially reacting to other people's demands. Focus on anything you're going to do, any action step you're going to do. Is this congruent to what you're trying to achieve long-term? Is this going to help to take you forward in one way or another? Because everything you do and every thought that you have needs to do that. So focusing on long-term, so that's your goals. Again, all ties back to number 1. Focus on your long-term, what the goal is, the ultimate goal is, and make sure that what you're doing short-term is moving you towards it. So take the time to really look at this and decide the action steps like the ones you should have from trait number 1. So long-term versus short-term thinking. Number 4, mastering skills and having an endless pursuit of knowledge. So always want to learn more, but make sure you're focusing and honing in on the skills that you personally need to learn. There's no harm learning general knowledge, like that's beneficial in many ways, but you need to really take your life forward. You need to hone in and master certain skills. So if you're someone who speaks, does presentations or seminars or webinars like this, you need to learn how to speak. You need to learn to have confidence, how to project your voice, things like that, how to communicate. So what are your skills? Just like a professional athlete needs to develop certain skills to become the best in the world, because there's only a tiny, tiny percentage who make it out of all the athletes around the world. So what are the skills? What's the number one skill you need to master in what you're doing right now? Identify it, learn about it, read books on it, watch videos on it, hire coaches on it, go to seminars about it, master these skills, and keep that endless pursuit of knowledge. And take calculated risks. So be a risk taker. Be someone who crosses the line, who gets outside their comfort zone, who feels the fear and does it anyway. Make sure you're like that. Just take calculated risks. Don't jump into anything without at least thinking about it, but just analyze it, analyze people who will be involved, what you're going to be doing, and decide, is this for you? Take your time. Make calculated risks. Don't be reactive. See the way all these traits link together? This is why, as a whole, people who follow all of these and implement these types of traits, that's why they're so successful, because each one helps the other. If you do number 4 right, it's going to help number 1, or if you do number 2 right, it might help number 5, and so on. They all connect to each other. So this is why it's so important for you to focus on implementing what you're learning on this free training, and implement it straight away. Before we go on to questions, I just want to speak to you very briefly about, a solution that, I would recommend you invest in, because, as I said, it's very hard to do things on your own. Also, you don't want to reinvent the wheel. Follow the path of someone who's already done it. And as I said, I've had experience of 19 years in this industry, and I've learned a lot, and I've had many highs, many lows, and I've come through a lot of tough times, and I've also had some amazing experiences. And it applies to every area of my life: relationships, professional life, body, mind, and health, wealth side of things. Especially in the modern age, wealth is a big one. Wealth is the one that causes the most stress and anxiety for people, and why people's lives are out of control. Because when you learn to correct it, and correct the balance there, and especially get your mind thinking in the right way, you can create whatever you want. You can create as much money as you want. You create the life you want. You can do what you want with your time. You can have amazing relationships. You basically can have a fun, vibrant, fulfilling, successful life, but you need to take the necessary action on it. If you're not taking necessary action, it's not going to happen. So I want to offer you the solution to this, what I see as a solution, and it's my Formula for Success program. And I put a huge emphasis in this program initially on sorting out your body, mind, and health, because if you don't sort out your body, mind, and health and get control of that, then you're not going to achieve the success you want anyway. Remember, in trait number 3, I said about high achievers, body, mind, and health is a huge priority for them. They always prioritize it each and every day. So you should be eating healthy, you should be active, you should be keeping hydrated, you should be getting quality sleep. And it's a big emphasis on it. But I also work with my clients. Once we've sorted that area of their life out and got to a good level, we focus in on how to develop the other areas like relationship, professional life, and wealth. And this is what I coach people on. This is what I'm passionate about, is to help you to lead a fun, vibrant, fulfilling, successful life. That is what you can do. That is what you can achieve. But you need to take the right action. And trying to go a path on your own rarely works. Why have something take years when you can do it in a couple of months? Why go down a dark alley when you don't even know if you're going to get to the final destination you'd like to get to? Follow someone who has already done it, who's already been there, done that, worn a t-shirt, who's gone through the bad experiences to get to the good experience, so he can save you that hardship. And that's what I'd love to offer you in terms of my program. Okay, it's only $97 a month, which is pittance for what you get with this. It says constant coaching. You get direct access to me whenever you want. Websites, tickets to events, links to coaching calls, links to interviews I've done with many experts all over the world in the last few years, lifetime access to my Dave Sheahan workout system, many different things, resources, books, audios, so many different things. All things that are going to help you to achieve what you want in life. So just put the link in there into the chat box. So you can just go there, click it, and then sign up. And love to have you on board, because again, I want to make sure that you're achieving what you want in life. Okay? Alright, so let me just check questions. So guys, questions, feedback, anything, just let me know. I'm just going to look through it now. Whether you have questions on what I shared on this training, or you have questions about Formula for Success program, type them into the question box for me. Daniel, you're asking here about when you wake up, how can I write without going to sleep? Well, when you wake up, you should be energetic. You should be waking up and nearly jumping out of bed. You should have great energy. That's what should happen. You should go to sleep very easily. You should not wake up during the night, and 8 hours later, ideally, wake up without any alarm, any stimulation. Just wake up, natural body clock, and be ready to go straight away. So you should be energetic, and you should be able to write without going to sleep. If you are finding yourself going to sleep a lot, first thing in the morning, like just dozing, you need to look at your sleep and see how you can improve it, because there's something wrong. And also your nutrition. Nutrition will have a big impact on it as well. A few people looking to change their jobs and change their career and going into doing something for themselves. As I said, feel the fear, do it anyway. Just go for it. Set a date now when it's going to happen. You need to put some pressure on yourself, because if you just say, oh, I will, if there's no date, the likelihood is that you won't, or it'll just go on forever and ever, because you need to make something definite. You need to, for you personally, have something to focus on. And as well, if you write in the present tense, and the what and the why, and the date, then it will happen, because you're going to remind yourself constantly until it happens of what you're trying to do. Let me see. In terms of writing your goals and feeling embarrassed if you're writing them in front of other people, it depends. Some people are very embarrassed, don't like to share things. Other people love sharing it. So what I say to you is, with that, I would advise more to share it, because when you put it out there more, you're thrown out to the universe with more force and more belief, but also you've other people who can hold you accountable. Okay, other people know. The more people who know about your goals, the better, because they'll either be driving you on, or their reactions should drive you on. But most importantly, you're putting it out to the universe what it is you want to achieve. Okay, so put it out there. Don't hold back from putting it out there. Let's see what else we got here. Lots of goals coming in. That's great. Let's see, eat meat and eat food. Just someone asking here about how do I avoid eating meat. Make a decision that you're going to cut it out, or cut it down at least, and start now. Start eating more plant-based meals. Okay, I've coached a lot of people with my Go Vegan Grow program on adopting a plant-based vegan lifestyle and how to transition and how to be successful in it. And the key thing is to just start moving in the right direction. Instead of eating meat a few times a day, eat it once. Make some plant-based meals. Have some healthy plant-based snacks. Stop eating the junk. All these things will make a huge difference and move you that direction. Cut out the cheese, yogurts, milk. Use dairy-free versions. These are some very simple pointers to help you move in the right direction. And just focus on eating more whole food. That's what you want to have. Okay, let me see. Alright, no other questions right now. Alright guys, so, as I said to you, it's the 5 traits of a high achiever. These are the key 5 traits. These are the ones who make the biggest impact. And there's general consensus among all high achievers around the world that these are the important ones. I personally have experienced it from the last 19 years, lots of highs and lows. And these have been the traits that I personally adopted and I adhere to the majority of my time. And that's what gives me a lot of success, because I do that. And you too can achieve it. Remember, you too can achieve all you want in life, but you have to take the right action. If you're not taking the right action, then it's not going to happen. Alright? So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you got a lot from it. Keep your feedback coming. Great if you can post a comment on our web registration page. Share details of this weekly training with those you know. It's so important to keep building up our community. And people need this type of information and education and spark. That time it's just a spark to take massive action. So make sure again help us to share it out there. I hope you've decided to invest in Former for Success. If you want to work with it, it's only $97 a month. It's about 70 euros, about 60 pounds, British pounds, different currencies. So it's not a lot for incredible coaching, accountability and support and access to many, many resources. Alright, so take care of yourself, take action. Remember, move forward each and every day. Take daily action. Keep taking positive action steps. This is Dave Sheahan here, high performance coach and founder of Former for Success. Thank you for being on. I look forward to speaking to you on our next weekly training.